In today's video, we're staying at the St. Regis Hong Kong, which might be one of the most underrated luxury options. We're going to look at the experience, amenities, and everything you need to know. Big favor before we dive in is to give this a thumbs up to help with the algorithm, and if you want to travel smarter, consider subscribing. This hotel is relatively new, opening back in April of 2019. Unlike some of the other chains, this St. Regis feels a bit more boutique, with only 129 rooms and 17 suites spread over a 27-story tower. This was designed by André Fu, one of our favorite hotel designers, especially for understated luxury and thoughtful detail. The goal was curated mansion and East meets West. Think Manhattan brownstone meets Cantonese tea house. The St. Regis Hong Kong also includes 24-hour butler service for all guests. Some other locations only offer this if you're staying in suites. Services range from packing and unpacking to coffee making. Just got to St. Regis, put our luggage down. What are your first impressions? 30 seconds. 3, 2.
Nice and modern.
Just checked into the St. Regis, and now let's do a room tour. But first, let's have some coffee. So apparently this is a complicated machine. I think I'm supposed to just pour this into here, right?
You need to put the cup there. The actual teacup.
I didn't have a chance to move it. Cool. What's that?
Well,
oh, it's pretty good. That's actually really good. Wow, you're gonna like it. Taste it?
oh, it's pretty good. I think it's because it has a whole cup of milk in it.
Welcome to the St. Regis Hong Kong. Let's check it out. This is one of the newest luxury hotels in Hong Kong, and it opened up in 2019. This is a guest room with a 1K partial harbor view corner room. So it's an upgrade above the base level, but not a suite by any means, but still pretty solid given that it is a corner room and you kind of have two different views. So over here you have Wan Chai and kind of like old city and what locals would experience and live through. Over here you see a bit of the water, but also the convention center. The room is pretty spacious and all the rooms are at least 500 square feet and to go up from there. Over here is a super comfortable couch, and I actually almost fell asleep in this when we first got into the room. One of the cool things about the room is that the decor is East meets West, and it's inspired by kind of old school Hong Kong. These lights are the old school gas lamps. Those up there are supposed to remind you of shops. So initially Mandy thought it opened up into the bathroom, but not really the case, just pure decor. At the same time, you have a lot of wood tones and things that are purely Western based. And the interesting part too is that Hong Kong is pretty much East meets West in a lot of ways. Right over here is a nice comfortable seat where you can kind of relax, do some work, and we also have a little bear friend here. So St. Regis is known for their butlers, and this is one of their smallest butlers. We did end up requesting it. I don't think it comes from the room by itself, but we've been collecting a lot of them from different hotels like the Conrad, St. Regis, and Ritz. So very cute. You might need to go to Sam's to those to get a new suit. We are celebrating, and here is a pretty nice dessert that they gave us. Same thing with the lights here, gas lamps. There is water bottles in the room, and you can request more of them from the butlers. One thing St. Regis is known for is their butler service. You can contact them a few different ways. This property, you can either go through the app, phone, call, or WhatsApp. I believe they can help you with a lot of things, but the free ones are going to be getting you tea and coffee, additional waters, and you're allowed 2 items pressed per day and 1 pair of shoes shined. So for example, we have a lot of water because we've been thirsty. They also brought us some milk for coffee earlier and helped us learn how to use the machine. I think he would have been fine just doing it, but I don't mind learning anyways. Throughout the room, there is a ton of artwork and pretty nice. So one thing that we didn't realize when we first were making coffee is that these are double insulated cups, so double walled cups. And we were wondering, well, where are the coffee cups? So we ended up asking for it and they're like, oh, you didn't have double insulated ones? So we didn't realize, but yeah, these are fine for coffee. There is also a milk frother on this machine, which is pretty nice. You do need to ask for milk, but they'll happily bring it and it's 24/7. There's a kettle and also some top shelf liquor. St. Regis rum, gin, and vodka. Paid mini bar over here with some milk that is free, creamer that's free, some coffee. As you can tell, we've already kind of started here. Some really nice teas. TWG, one of our favorites. Mandy's favorite, actually my favorite as well. So I guess our favorite. Really good teas. And then free, not free. Also kettle chips and paid wine. Coming back from where we came in from, there are some cool decor, so I'm not really sure what this is supposed to represent, but it looks really nice. Over here is a pretty big closet, gigantic mirror, additional pillows if you want something different, bunch of hangers, pretty nice quality, a nice throw from Fredit, shoe stuff, and also slippers. Some additional drawers down here if you are staying longer and want to fill up all the drawers. Over here is another one, pretty much the same thing, bathrobe over here, and again, still from Fredit, can't pronounce it, umbrella if it rains. There's also flashlights in case the power goes out. Down here is an iron. You might be wondering where the ironing board is. It's right over here and a little bit hidden, but nice. Blends in pretty well. If you look at our room, we are in guest room 1. So it is a bit bigger than a lot of the other normal ones down here. Guest room 2 looks like it's exactly the same, kind of with 8. And then there are some other bigger super rooms. There are only about 100 rooms in this property, so not too big. Over here is the bathroom. Over here is a toilet, pretty comfortable. Walk-in shower. It is a bit cozier and a bit darker. Not cozy in the small sense, but it's a mood, it's a vibe. It is a waterfall shower and pretty high up. I don't think anyone should have any height issues with it, even if you're very tall. Bunch of different items for shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. And if you don't want to use the waterfall one, there is a normal one here. If you don't want to shower, if you want to relax in the tub, that's an option as well. This is a super sizable tub. So a lot of the other ones, it's a lot more cramped, it's not comfortable. This is not the case. Also a headrest here. There is a TV as well. The cool thing is that it blends in pretty well with the wall, with the mirror. A lot of the older ones are pretty obvious. This one, not the case unless you turn it on. Yeah, super comfortable, and you could probably fit 2 people in here. Double vanities, additional mirrors, and a ton of other items. One thing I like about luxury hotels is that they actually provide you items. Some of the other ones just either don't bother or you have to ask for it, and it's just more hassle. We did end up booking this using an 85K certificate, and I think that's one of the best ways to use these certificates, especially if you don't really want to go to outrageous places, if you're more of a city person. On that note, if you want to learn about cards, whether these ones or pretty much anything else, and you want to support the channel, we have links on the website, asksebby.com, and also down below in the description box. Make sure the links are competitive, but otherwise, it is a huge way to support the channel, so thank you guys in advance. Depending on retail and points price and whether you get value, it might also make sense to book through a portal like FHR or Cardonomics. For example, in January, there's a ton of availability and pretty easy to book. The retail price is about 4,200 HKD and ends up being about 4,800 after taxes and fees. Converting to USD, that's about 600 bucks. Still a good use of an 85K free night award, but probably not points directly. In December, points price is super inflated and there's only 2 dates that are even sub 100K. In contrast, the cash rate is about the same as it is in January in the 4,200 range. When points make sense, then of course use points, otherwise consider paying out of pocket. Booking directly on the cheapest date, the 3,900 from December 14th, ends up being about 4,500 HKD after taxes and fees. Cardonomics is a bit more expensive at almost 5,100 HKD, but it's through STARS. This is the VIP rate that offers exclusive benefits and perks. Here you get complimentary breakfast for 2 per night, room upgrades, and also a $100 USD credit per stay. If you don't have elite status, this is an easy way to get those perks. Even if you do have status, STARS bookings are pretty much the same as direct bookings for NUAs and also perks, so you can double dip. If you want to check out Cardonomics, I'll leave a link down below with the current password. That's the room. Let's check out the rest of the property. One of the other cool parts about St. Regis's is that they have the ceremony called champagne sabering, generally at about 5:30 p.m. The idea is that it's supposed to mark the change from day to nighttime. The sabering ceremony here was pretty anticlimactic, just them announcing it. If you compare it to the St. Regis Maldives, they had music playing, they had like multiple people like walking along, and it felt like a very big thing. Here was just a guy doing that pretty fast, but still nice. There also is a whole floor dedicated towards health. So let's check out the gym and the pool area. Overall, I like how big and open the gym is and how all the equipment's new. I feel like compared to some other hotels, it's also not as busy. One downside is the pool. It is in the sun, and for us, it's a bit too hot, but if you are someone that wants to sunbathe, then it's perfect. There also are a ton of Michelin-starred restaurants throughout the property and a pretty cool bar. One's French, one's Chinese dim sum style, and then the bar is kind of fusion-y. If if you are coming here for convention or if you have business in the area, then this is a great pick. It's also good if you don't really want the hustle and bustle and you want something that's a bit separated from that. This is a nice sanctuary. It's great because you're more connected to old Hong Kong and there's a lot of things to see and do. I'd say that it's not for you if you are looking for something that's super convenient because it is about 2 blocks from the MTR station. In that case, I think the Ritz as well as the Conrad are a bit better. You are still kind of far away, but you're walking through malls to get to your hotel. Other elements are Pacific Place and just a bit more convenient, especially if you are going out at night. Also on the note of going out at night, Ritz has Ozone and a lot of other kind of more ritzy style bars, unsurprisingly. And if you stay at Conrad, you can easily take the MTR to LKF. Here there are a ton of bars in Wan Chai, but it's just a different vibe. Might make sense to do a bit more research on Wan Chai bars before going to them. I think it is worth a visit if this is what you're looking for, but for a lot of people, Ritz is probably a better pick. Good morning, next day, since we have platinum status, we get one benefit and we select breakfast. So let's check it out. Croissant, fruits, and coffee, and then our main stuff's coming. Probably one of the best croissants I've ever had. It's really good. Pretty good, pretty buttery.
Pretty normal.
Really? Maybe I just like croissants.
I think it's like croissants.
The chocolate croissant was okay, but the normal one was a lot better to me. I ended up pretty much eating 2 of them. So we pretty much got double breakfast. I got an everything omelet, and Mandy got wonton noodles, and then we both got the Chinese breakfast as well. We'll go to that one after. But the taste test. Ooh, perfectly cooked. Still runny.
1 minute later.
Finished the omelet and moving to the Chinese breakfast now. There are a few different items. Hai Gao over here, Siu Mai down here. This one is lotus leaf sticky rice, one of my favorite items, lobster egg rolls, and also abalone congee. Also a lot of toppings for the congee depending on what you want. I generally am kind of a green onions and then also peanuts person to kind of just add a bit more texture and crunch. Don't really use the other ones as much, but yeah, depends on you, kind of whatever you want to add. The Hai Gao's okay. Siu Mai's really good though. I think fan of it. Sticky rice is also okay.
Well, yeah.
Lobster spring roll is awesome. Congee's pretty good.
You don't put the room key here. You put it here.
Just got back from breakfast, and overall I think breakfast is good, but not great. For what it is, presentation, everything else, it's amazing. It's more so that there are better options of that same item in other restaurants in Hong Kong. For us, since we've had it so many times in other places, it's still good to kind of check everything off the list and to kind of scratch every itch. If I had to do it again, I probably would just do the Chinese breakfast rather than the American one. American one was okay, but nothing really extraordinary. All right, let's try out some of the cake. Mousse. Smells pretty good. That's like my dream cake. It's not sweet at all. A lot of chocolate cakes are overly sweet. This is like dark chocolate, not too much sugar, perfect. Like I think if I could ever request a cake, it'd be this one.
Wait, here are Ritz.
This cake's a lot better. The Ritz one is good, it's dark, but it's too sweet. This one is so good. One of the Hong Kong staples is going to be wonton noodles, wonton min, with dumplings. So this is what it is, pretty much the noodles. Perfectly cooked and bouncy and delicious. One thing I recommend is trying the soup by itself and then afterwards mixing it up. So pretty good clean flavor either at the beginning or midway through. Add some red vinegar. Most of the time they're going to have this on the table. You can add a bit first and then add more later if you like it. Adds a bit more dimension and sharpness, and I think it ties it together really well. Along with the noodles, you're going to have a bunch of different dumpling options. Exactly as it sounds, perfect, and there's no filler, which is nice. Next is going to be shrimp with mushroom. I think I like the normal one a bit better, but you can try both. You also can order the wontons by themselves without the noodles, and that's a pretty common option. We also did end up getting noodles as a dry option, so pretty much stir-fried with some oyster sauce on the side. A bit more crunchy, and I personally prefer it this way, but it just depends on you. You also can add sides of stuff, so this is a side of beef. Super flavorful, and I definitely recommend it, especially if you do like tasty meat in your mouth. Okay, we're gonna finish this off, and we'll see you at the next stop. Overall, I think this is a great option if you need to be by the Wan Chai area, whether you are going to the conference center, government buildings, or want to be near the Star Ferry building. It is less convenient than some other options, so I think there are better picks for that. Still though, if you want to be in old Hong Kong and you want that oasis away from everything, so you want to kind of experience it but step away at times, then this is an awesome pick. If you do come, then make sure to ask for a mascot. So this is a little Butler because they're known for the Butler service. Again, if you want to learn about cards, we have links on the website, asksebby.com, and down below in the description box.
Again, if you want to book with the Stars or Virtuoso rates for VIP perks, I'll link to Cardonomics down below.
If you made it to this point, leave a teddy bear emoji in the comments down below, and I'll try to heart it and also respond. My question for you is, what are your thoughts on the St. Regis, and is it a place you would stay? Let me know and everyone else know in the comments down below. Big favorite, thumbs up, consider subscribing, but otherwise hope you liked it. See you next time.